Okay, I just want to put this little disclaimer out here. This, as you're all aware, but like, I'm not trying to rip off game theory from this entire series. It's kind of a parody of that, which is why I changed it from the science to the math, just as a little joke. I just thought it'd be fun. Just want to let you guys know that I'm not just like ripping off, just nicely plagiarizing. Anyways, let's get off the video. Okay, I just got back from vacation, but while on vacation, I was just sitting in my hotel bed randomly, and I thought to myself, how about I try to find a way to see how big that the geometry dash cube is, like the standard cube icon? So, with a mission in hand, I set out on one of the dumbest things I've ever done, which was like, it didn't take me that long at all, like maybe an hour of research to try to figure out the size of the geometry dash cube. First off, I needed a way to measure how big the cube is. The main issue I ran across was that GD, like, no offense to RobTop, I mean, I love the block decoration, the offers that they give creators, it's just, they're very generic, kind of, like, none of them resemble real-world objects, really, like, I mean, you have standard dirt, standard brick block, standard, just whatever those are, standard rainbow, you can't really measure a rainbow. Standard little pebble rocks, standard signs, skulls, things like that. Kind of like generic video gamey type of these. But there is one I noticed while playing through Finger Dash and through Deadlock and several other levels. I noticed these set of bricks right here. They were actually the same size of the cube, but I went into the editor and they lined up, and they were quite big. And so I decided to use this as my method of trying to figure out how big the cube was. Now I needed to find the right type of brick to be able to pin to this little Geometry Dash version. And oh boy, that was very frustrating to do. I just started by trying to look up a standard size for a brick, and was met with the fact that there is really none. However, I did get consistent results from two different websites, beldenbrick.com and constructioner.com. They gave me this long list of like standard sizes for specific types of bricks. Like, there is no like standard for brick. Even a modular brick apparently is the most popular building brick compared to the standard brick, which I find weird. But they gave like the basic dimensions for every single type of like main brick out there, which is kind of what I needed. Unfortunately, there are many different sizes, so I didn't really know where to start. So I just decided to give my throw at the first one, the modular brick. I used the given dimensions to find the size of the other side of the bricks in the one block. I'll show a little picture of that process on the screen, but something wasn't adding up. I wasn't getting a perfect square. A modular brick standard length is 7 5/8 of an inch, but was only 2 1/4 of an inch in the height, and since the block needed to be a square, the height had to be 1/2 of the length. So when the height was doubled, like if it was a rectangle, when the block was doubled, they would make a perfect square. Unfortunately, the modular brick didn't fit those requirements, and I just went down through both lists to try to find a brick that would, and almost every single one of them, it was like they were 3/4 of the height, or something close to that. I was about to give up, but then I stumbled on the one brick that I actually needed after so long. Okay, so here we have it, the holy brick, otherwise known as the quad brick. It is a perfect square, being 7 5/8 inches for both length and height, or 194 millimeters, which I'll be using the metric system from now on, since imperial, I think that's what it's called, I'm not for sure, is stupidly frustrating to use and very confusing. When I saw it, I realized that instead of to try to figure out the size of this brick, the big rectangular one, I could try to figure out the size of this brick instead, the little small one that's shaped like a square, since I actually have a square-shaped brick. Calculating this now was actually quite easy. I'm pretty sure I did more work than I really needed to, because all you needed to do is, since it was a square that made up 1/4 of the whole, you just had to double it, and then all of a sudden, bam, there's the size of your brick. I cross-checked it several times, but it wasn't really that hard. And I got the final answer that you all have been waiting for. The size of one block in the Geometry Dash world is equivalent to the real-life version of, drumroll please, 388 millimeters, I think squared, since it's a square, or 1.27 feet squared. That's around 0.3 meters or 15 inches, which kind of surprised me and didn't at the same time. I mean, if you ever thought about like how big Geometry Dash would be in real life, you can either think it'd be like really, really tiny, or like I don't know, like imagine it as a meter would be here, like a meter of just cube in your living room. kind of like how Minecraft does the standard like 1 block equals 1 meter thing. It just seems too big. 15 inches, it's not that large. It's about a little smaller than my monitor, not my monitor, my laptop screen up here. But I think that's actually around a nice size. Like, that's a quite believable size. Like, 15 inches isn't too big, but it isn't too small at the same time. It's kind of like a more realistic size I could imagine. This was actually really interesting. If anyone like to cross-check this using other bricks, I don't know of any other method to calculate this though using actual blocks inside of the editor, just due to the fact that none of them really resemble real-world objects that well, or if they do, they are very hard to measure. So yeah, that was just very, very useful information to will definitely use sometime in your life about the size of a brick. No, not the size of a brick, how to use a brick and calculate the size of a Geometry Dash object in real life. And I actually plan on doing a lot more videos on this, and now we actually have a method to measure things in real life terms in the game, which I find is kind of cool. So yeah, this is a more different side of GDTheories that I never expected to do. It just occurred to me one day, but now it exists. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We are so close to 100. I can't believe I'm actually saying that right now. But yeah, have a good day, everyone. See ya.